if there's one fintech company that I envy, I'm fearful of, and look up to at the same time, it has to be PhonePe. I mean, I think they've gone at it the right way. They've cracked the code, and whatever they do, it's such a well thought out plan that whichever space they go into, you better be paying attention to it. So it's no surprise that they'd be one of the first few Decacorns that we've seen from the Indian fintech. In fact, Indian startup space itself. After Flipkart, this is, I think, the fourth Decacorn in India, if I'm not wrong. So that's kudos to the brilliant foresight that Sameer Nigam has to drive the ship forward. But what is it that PhonePe has been doing so well, and why are they doing so well? Like, just taking UPI for example, yes, they did have an early mover advantage with their tie-up with Yes Bank and all of that. But capturing half the market share, that is insane. Like, I don't think that's anyone else could have done it so well. And whenever I tell all my fellow product friends that PhonePe has to be my favorite app of all times, and they're like, really, it has such a cluttered UI and it's like confusing at times, and you don't know what all new changes they're bringing in. But really look past all of that to the business acumen that Sameer Nigam brings to the table. He's the only person after, say, an HDFC, ICICI, SBI, and an Axis to be able to build a full stack financial services tech company. I don't think anybody else has been able to do this so far. And that is really, really what really excites me about it. So if you, one of the things about a fintech company is that you are highly regulated. So let's see who all regulates fintech. They literally have all the licenses in place except for a lending license. And they would have gotten that lending license if the Zest Money deal had gone through. But of course, the valuation and the business financials and the basic numbers that were there at Zest did not really make sense for Sameer Nigam to put money into ZestPay at that point in time at those valuations and those terms. But despite that, one interesting thing that PhonePe did do was to get a license from Zest Money to help build their digital lending platform. So it's like an indirect license of sort that they now have. They already had an NBFC deposit taking license. Now through this licensing of Zest tech stack for lending, they also indirectly have a lending license. They also had a distribution license for MFs. They had insurance license. What else? I remember them having 5 licenses. The 5th one was, for the NPS or the National Pension Scheme. So they had a license for that as well. So they have literally every license that you can think of for setting up a financial service institution over there. And they have a huge base of customers. Now they've also gotten a license in the account aggregator business. Trust me, I spend sleepless nights when I think of that. Because just imagine if they start using the data that is coming out from account aggregators to underwrite their merchants that are there on their business. They don't even need to go to Open, the Open Credit Enablement Network. They don't even need to go there because they have so many merchants over there. Their active merchant base month, was it? I think it was, I'm forgetting the exact numbers, but their daily active merchant base was upward of 5 million. Like, really, that's 10% of the entire MSMEs that are there in India. That's a huge daily active base of merchants that they have over there. So I think that is one great thing that PhonePe is working on. Lending is definitely a code that they are going to crack pretty soon. Account aggregator is one step in the process for them. So when it comes to PhonePe's account aggregator business, I think we can split it into two. One will be on the merchant side and the other one will be on the retail side. In India, PFM is something that is a concept that is slowly coming up now. It's very well established in the US, but not so much in India. But if someone can crack that PFM code, I don't think it's going to be the IND Money or the JAR, or all of them are great, by the way, fintech companies in their own accord. But I think the one person who holds the key to all of that would probably be better positioned, would be PhonePe over there. So now with their PhonePe account aggregator license, they have access to all of that data to help you build your personal financial goals. That is super powerful, and I'm pretty sure it's already work in progress. They're working right now. It's limited in terms of the number of financial information providers that they've tied up with. But I'm pretty sure people pretty soon are going to be lining up to PhonePe to sign up on their account aggregator. That's on the personal side. On the wealth side of it, they already have a wealth distribution platform. They have a license for that. They're going to be able to use the data that is coming in from account aggregator to cross sell between these two entities that are there for them. So that is again a huge, that is pure margin business for them over there. So that is again a great thing going on over there. Same with insurance. It's just going to be a huge way for them, a great way for them to not cross sell, but right sell to you. And I think in insurance and in mutual funds, the one big problem is that most people are missold financial products over there. You don't really need what they, so just let's take the term insurance for example. Most of the times we are good enough with just a plain vanilla term insurance, but then you'll see all the agents and all of these third-party platforms selling you these add-ons. Oh, you can have like a accident coverage, and if you break your leg, this coverage. If you break your hand, that coverage. You don't really need any of those top-ups. So that I think is something that PhonePe is well positioned to crack, because they're not going to simply chase just the margin numbers. They're going to make sure that they build that ecosystem around PhonePe, so that every one of your financial needs is embedded into the app. You don't have to think of anything else over there, and you know that your data is safe and secure with them. It won't be missold elsewhere. So that's something that really excites me about. Like I said, I envy them, I'm fearful of them, but I always also look up to what they're doing over there. So that's why I'm so pumped up about PhonePe story.